As an appraiser, if you want to do any work outside the normal AMC lender arena, and even in that, by the way, it's important to have a website, but more importantly, it's to have a website that shows up in SEO or search engine optimization.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
All right, let's start with this. Every appraiser should have a website. Well, Dustin, I just work for one company. I just work for the VA, or I just do AMC work. That's just for private appraisal. Folks, go back and listen to the podcast that I did recently on the most dangerous appraisal company to work for. And then let's roll with this. I want to pause here and remind you we're sponsored by DatamasterUSA.com. Datamaster, of course, is the ability to save 30 to 60 minutes per report. Why? Because it fills your report in for you. This is stuff that you would either have to do yourself or hire someone else to do it. Check them out. Go to DatamasterUSA.com for more information. DatamasterUSA.com. We're sponsored by Alamode, of course, and that is the company that I've been using for over 20 years to do my appraisal work for me, to help me to do my appraisal work better. Alamode.com or 800-ALAMODE. Finally, we're sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Just recently, I had somebody reach out to me and say, Dustin, how do I even know what the normal fees are in my area, right? I'm not going to call up my competition and say, hey, what do you charge? Well, go to workingre.com, type the word survey into a fee survey into the search bar, and then let's talk. Check them out. Go to workingre.com, workingre.com. All right, folks, we're talking today about, I think, a pretty important subject. Now, a lot of the coaching that I do, both with the All-Star team, the Dream Team, and then the personal coaching that I do, is to help individuals to diversify. Recently, I did a podcast on the most dangerous appraisal company to work for. And long story short, if you haven't listened to it already, I'll just give you the punchline. The most dangerous appraisal company to work for is the one that you're exclusively working for, right? Meaning that's the only client that you have. And the reason it's the most dangerous in the world is because the second that it's gone, so is your business. Okay? It's called not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Now, I know a lot of you don't have hopes and dreams of becoming a big private appraisal company, meaning you're doing appraisals for lawyers and realtors and homeowners and the like, right? But many of you do. Many of you have thoughts of moving your business forward in such a way that it allows you to diversify, not just with different companies, but also with different types of work. And by the way, I highly recommend that you consider what I'm talking about, okay? A big part of that process is a website. Now, you would be shocked, I think, and surprised. Okay, the last statistic I heard came from a credible source, but I can't nail it down, okay? So take it with a grain of salt, is that 40% of appraisers have websites. No, I didn't say 40% don't have websites. I said 40%, less than half, actually have a website, okay? And of those that have a website, many of them are very, very basic, okay? Now, part of that has to do with a cost, part of that has to do with an investment, and part of that has to do with time and energy and expertise, right? And this is not a show on how to develop a website, but I will tell you this much before we go to the break. It's not that hard to hire this out. I'm not one that's going to recommend that you learn WordPress or that you learn HTML and build your own website. By the way, I've done that. I kind of did it as an experiment. I like learning new things. My first website for my appraisal company I built on my own using WordPress, and I'd never done anything like it before. Now, I look back on that website on the Wayback Machine. Don't do it. But it was pitiful. But at the time, I thought it was pretty cool, especially the fact that I had done it myself. Okay. Now, again, I don't recommend that. As a business coach, I'm a big believer in hiring out expertise. There are people that are really good at building websites, and thus they can do it for fairly cheap because they do it a lot. It's their expertise, it's their wheelhouse, right? Just like you would not encourage your homeowner to go to Zillow to find out the home value, you would encourage them to go to a professional. I would also recommend that you go to a professional to get a website done. Now, it's going to cost you some money, okay? At least a couple hundred, probably a couple thousand to get a fairly decent website. Okay. But in that process, there are things that you should do to set yourself up so that that website becomes something that people actually see. Now, stick with me. I have had clients come to me and say, hey, Dustin, look at my website. And I look at their website and I go, wow, this is cool. This is really neat. It's interactive. It's flashy. It's understandable. It's easy to use, right? And then I'll go to the Googler, and I will type in appraiser in Philadelphia, right? And their website is nowhere to be found, and that's where they work, right? And so we start to talk about SEO. Well, first of all, what is SEO? It's a term that you've heard, and I'm not trying to talk down to anybody because a lot of you already know this. So skip ahead 15 seconds, right? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and the gist of that is when somebody Googles or searches for an appraiser in your area, does your website come up as an option? Now, I want you to put yourself in the boat of not someone looking for an appraiser per se, but somebody looking for a plumber or a restaurant or an attorney or a financial advisor or a CPA, right? Any of those things. Let's say you had nothing to go on except Google. You didn't have a recommendation from your friend, your neighbor. You simply wanted to hire somebody, and the first place you went was Google. Now, go through this process. And many of you do this on a weekly basis, right? Maybe you're on your phone, maybe you're on your desktop, but you get on and you type in plumber in Idaho Falls, right? And you start to go through that process. Now, ask yourself a serious question. How often, and be real with the answer, how often do you get to page 2 of Google before you've chosen your plumber? Not very often. Statistics will say that most people stick to page 1. Okay? So here's the deal. As an appraiser, if you want to do any work outside the normal AMC lender arena, and even in that, by the way, it's important to have a website, but more importantly, it's to have a website that shows up in SEO or search engine optimization. It's important to have a website that shows up at the very least on the bottom of page 1 of Google. Okay, and at the very least on what they call the 3-pack or the mapping system. Okay, I'm going to give you a few hints on how to do that, and they won't cost you much at all. These are a few things that I happen to know about Google that will help you to make sure that your website is on top. Want to remind you, of course, that we are sponsored by a la mode. If you want to be on top as an appraiser, meaning you want to be able to do things more efficiently and with higher quality. Now, I will tell you from personal experience that most AMCs don't care that much about the fee. I know that's what we always talk about on social media. They're just looking for the bottom of the barrel. Whoever can bid the lowest gets the deal. Yeah, maybe there's a couple companies out there like that. But folks, I'm telling you, most are not. They would not be in business very long if they simply hired the cheapest appraiser. What they're looking for is high quality, and they're looking for quick turn time. A la mode helps me to be able to complete those 2 goals. Check them out. Go to alamode.com or 800-ALAMODE. A data master does the same thing, folks. This is called efficiency. Saving 45 minutes per report means I can get more reports done, which means I can promise a quicker turn time to my clients, right? And this is important as well, be able to turn a higher quality. Data master will allow you to do that. Why? Because there's no human error. Whatever is in the tax records, whatever is on the MLS is going to transfer directly into your report. Datamaster USA is where it's at, folks. Datamasterusa.com. Finally, we are sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Folks, just the other day, I sent one of my clients to the website because they had asked the question that I alluded to at the top of the program. Dustin, how do I know what the fees are in my area? You talk about customary and reasonable, but customary and reasonable in Southern California is different than customary and reasonable in Oregon. And you're exactly right. So how do you know? You're not going to call up your competition and say, hey, buddy, what you charging for your fees? and then I'm going to undercut you, right? That's not going to happen. Now, you might fake it. Wouldn't encourage this. Hey, I'm looking to get an appraisal done on my home. It's a pretty standard house here in Idaho Falls, and wondering what you charge. Oh, really? What's your name? George? I wouldn't encourage you to do that. What I would encourage you to do is to go to workingre.com, type in the search bar fee survey, and drill down to your specific area and find out what other appraisers are reporting as their normal, customary, and reasonable fees. That's a good starting point. Folks, that's the kind of information that Working RE gives me on a regular basis. I've signed up for their free email. You need to as well by going to workingre.com. Again, it's workingre.com. We're back, folks. We're talking today a little bit about SEO, or search engine optimization, for lack of a better term, getting on the goods in Google, right? That was a little alliteration for you there. Getting on the goods in Google, meaning you want to be on page 1, you want to be on the 3-pack in Google. Let me just give you a couple things, okay? I started to talk about the website development. Please, when you develop your website, make sure it's not just an info site. Okay, an info site is simply a flyer. It's simply, here's our name, here's our phone number, here's our email, here's the services that we provide. Okay, I can tell you that those types of websites are dead, and they don't do much for Google at all. Meaning Google looks at them and goes, meh, nice try, appraiser, but I'm not putting you on page 1. Okay, now I don't know if Google actually thinks out loud like this, but I like to imagine that he or she does. Okay, is Google a boy or a girl? I don't know. Maybe a mixture. SEO is all about interaction. Okay, so Google is all about data, right? They don't care that you're trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm an appraiser, I'm in this area, and I'm super cool, and here's my fees. They don't care about that. They care about relevant information to give to people that are searching on a regular basis. Okay, this is key. So if you don't have a blog, B-L-O-G, if you don't have a vlog, V-L-O-G, you're in trouble. I'm telling you, right? Google is going to penalize you if you are not constantly updating the information on your website, and the very best way to do that is to create a blog or a vlog or both, okay, that you can update on a regular basis. And please, when I say regular basis, at least monthly, and you need to look around and see what your competition is doing. If you're the most active website out there for appraisers, you will be, well, all other things equal, you will be at the top of Google. Okay? So that's one thing that you need to do in the development stage of your website, is make sure that you have a vlog and blog capability, and that you have a process for updating it on a regular basis. Huge, huge deal. Okay? That leads me to my second thing, and that is update it on a regular basis. Constantly update blogs, constantly update vlogs, okay? And here's the key, cross-link with other appraisers, with other information, with the NAR website, with other information out there. When you cross-link and cross-reference, okay, when they can click on your website to go to another website, Google loves that as well. So reach out to individuals that are active in their blogging space. Okay, there are many of them out there. I've mentioned their names here before. And cross-link to them. If they've got a good article, post part of the article with a link back to the original article. They'll do the same for you, and these cross-hot links are great for SEO. Okay? The other thing I'll mention here is reviews. Okay? Now, how do you get reviews? Reviews are what we call the 3-pack. Okay? They're all about the 3-pack. When you type in plumber in Idaho Falls, what you will have is on part of the screen, you'll have a map that will show up with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, with different plumbers in the Idaho Falls area. Okay, you can click on those letters, or you can see the 3-pack. These are the 3 probably most active websites that Google can find putting in the maps. Now, I will tell you this. I should have started with this. I am not an SEO guy. Okay, I'm not an expert. I also know that Google changes their algorithms daily. Okay, so by the time this is recorded and printed, it will have changed. Okay, that's why I don't do SEO. Okay, again, that's one of those things that not just with your website development, but also being able to promote your website, the SEO, I would highly recommend that you hire that out. okay, to an expert that understands Google. I'm simply sharing with you things that have worked for me and my clients over the years. Again, an active blog, an active vlog, okay, and getting reviews. Getting reviews is super important. Now, you cannot do it without a Google business page. It's free, okay? You can develop it in less than 20 minutes, okay? I'm not going to go into how to do it here because this is not the venue for that. You can find a YouTube channel. You can find an article. I promise you can find the information that you need out there to create a business page for Google. You need one. It needs to be attached to a physical address. It cannot be a P.O. box. It cannot be a UPS box. And I would be leery of attaching it to a virtual office, okay, because Google will flag those things. But it must be something you can get physical mail to. And it will allow you to have a physical presence in the area. That's a big deal. Remember, we're talking about a map here. You want to be on that map, okay? In order to be on that map, you have to have a physical location. Now, next thing you do is you need to be able to be getting reviews on a regular basis. Now, I can tell you, if you are not actively involved in soliciting, and Google doesn't like that, okay? They don't like you to go out and actively solicit reviews. They want to be organic, okay? They want to be real customers getting real reviews, and I highly recommend that these are real customers with real reviews, right? But if you're not actively asking for reviews, I promise you that you're going to have more negative reviews than positive reviews. And it's just human nature. When people are mad, when people are upset, when they think their house is worth $500,000 and you came in at $450,000, they're going to jump on Google and they're going to jump all over your company. Okay, you're going to get that. Okay, that comes with the territory of accepting reviews. However, if you want to be in that 3-pack and if you want to be popular with Google, okay, if you want to be on page 1, you got to have those reviews going on. And in order to do that, you've got to set up a business page, and I would highly recommend that you're actively asking for reviews. I do it in the appointments. In the inspection, I ask for reviews before I leave. Now, I don't if the person's grumpy or if you feel like it's not appropriate, okay? You kind of get a feel for these things when you're there. But for the most part, I'm reaching out and saying, hey, if you had a good experience with me today, I would highly ask a favor that you jump on my Google page and you just give me a quick 5-star review. That really helps us. You would be surprised just by asking how often people will actually do it, okay? Be actively soliciting reviews, getting good reviews, 5-star reviews. That's going to bring you up as far as your SEO goes. Now, there's a lot of other things that we can do with SEO. Okay? There's a lot of other things that we could talk about today. I would encourage that you, if you have not done so already, that you take my webinar on Google reviews. Okay? How to get them, an easy way. I give you an easy way to solicit reviews more than just asking, and it has totally changed the number of reviews, 5-star reviews that I've received. It's called Google Reviews. It's on my website under the products section of theappraisercoach.com, and you can join for free with an all-star team membership. Again, it's Google Reviews, the webinar. It's on the products page of theappraisercoach.com.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.